Unlike Google, where the search engine will try to find the best answers to frequently asked questions and update the top results to say that Hugh Jackman and other actors will appear in movies like Endgame when it was obvious that they never would, IMDb is slightly different. From what I understand, not just anyone can edit IMDb pages. You can request to have things added or changed, but it has to be approved. So while again, definitely not a confirmation, it does seem like we have the official castings for the MCU's Fantastic Four reboot. If you take a look at the page titled Marvel Cinematic Universe Cast 2008 through 2023, you'll see that it does have actors for the film. The page shows that John Krasinski will play Mr. Fantastic, which, given that he played the character in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and has been fan cast in the role for years, it's definitely possible and pretty likely. But it also shows that Rudy Pascal will play Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and that Elizabeth Leia will play Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. Now, there is unfortunately no actor for the Thing, but as of right now, we have 3 of the 4 members of the family cast. There are also a couple other interesting actors named here, like Josue Meichi, who's playing Atuma in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. We know that Tana Cuerto will be playing Namor the Submariner, and that the movie will be sort of like Batman v Superman, where the two initially faced off against each other before teaming up to stop a bigger threat. And in this case, it would be Shuri and Wakanda against Namor and Atlantis, or whatever it'll be called in the MCU, but they'll eventually team up to take on Atuma. We can also see that Florence Kasumba, who plays Okoye, is listed as appearing in the Midnight Angels. Now, a Midnight Angels project hasn't been officially announced yet, but we do know that an Okoye Disney Plus show is in development, and so it's very likely that this Okoye Disney Plus show isn't actually called Okoye, but instead means that Okoye will be the main character and that it'll actually be called the Midnight Angels. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but this is something that I've talked about before, and it actually connects to both Black Panther 2 and the Fantastic Four. There was an old plot leak which said, what if Doom secretly goes after T'Challa and seemingly succeeds, planting evidence blaming Namor and Atlantis for Black Panther's death, resulting in Shuri and Wakanda and Namor and Atlantis going to war. Then in the post-credit scene, Doom is revealed to be the true villain pulling the strings behind the scenes. And to back this up even further, IMDb says that Lake Bell is playing Lucia Von Bardis in the film, who's connected to Doom in the comics. We know that one of Black Panther 2's post-credit scenes will show Riri's vibranium tech finding anti-metal in Antarctica and introducing the Savage Lands, which will later be explored further in the recently announced Thunderbolts project along with Kazar. But what if this was actually the second post-credit scene? That would be amazing, and probably 2 of the best post-credit scenes in the history of the MCU. There are also some other interesting confirmations which some of you might not have been aware of, but also 1 or 2 which seem to be slightly wrong. So like I said at the very beginning, take these with a grain of salt. But according to the page, Vera Farmiga, aka Eleanor Bishop in Hawkeye, was actually Madame Mask, and Tony Dalton, aka Jax Duquesne, was in fact Swordsman, which was pretty obvious. There's also confirmation that Gael Garcia Bernal is playing Werewolf by Night and will appear in the Midnight Suns, confirming that a Midnight Suns project is in development. That Laura Donnelly is playing Elsa Bloodstone in the Halloween special, that Shamir Anderson is playing Blue Marvel in the Marvels, and that Anthony Ramos will play the villain The Hood in Ironheart, as well as a couple others. Now, the ones which seem wrong are that Ethan Hawke, aka Arthur Harrow in Moon Knight, was apparently Sun King. Matt Damon, who appeared in Thor Ragnarok and will return in Love and Thunder, is apparently Thor's half-brother Balder the Brave, the character that Bruce Campbell was rumored to be a variant of in Doctor Strange 2, and that Ryan Reynolds, aka Deadpool, is listed as appearing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, for a while, it was rumored that Hawke was either playing Dracula or Sun King. In the show, we of course saw that he was actually Arthur Harrow, and in the end, he was killed by Jake Lockley. But this may mean that he'll come back later on. We already know that Harrow was Khonshu's avatar before Mark Spector, and he at some point transitioned to being Amit's avatar. So what if either before dying, or somehow after Jake killed him, he becomes Ra's avatar and becomes the Sun King? As of now, there are seemingly no plans for a second season of Moon Knight, but we do know that the character will be back in some way. So it's possible that when Moon Knight does return, either in a second season or a movie, that Harrow also returns but with new powers and is the villain Sun King. It would be a bit repetitive to have the same character be the villain again, but maybe if they had a villain group instead of just one villain, it wouldn't be the worst idea to bring him back in my opinion. As for Matt Damon being Balder, I don't know how I feel about that, because Balder is an interesting and important character, but the 2 times that we've seen him, he's just had small cameos portraying Loki in plays, so it would be really disappointing if that's true and this is all they did with the character. And lastly, Deadpool. We of course know that Ryan Reynolds will return as Deadpool in Deadpool 3, and that 20th Century Studios will have some role in the film, possibly allowing old X-Men characters to return in some role. But we already watched Doctor Strange 2, and Deadpool was nowhere in sight. Plus, screenwriter Michael Waldron confirmed that they did talk about including the character in a post-credit scene, but ultimately decided that it would be better to introduce him somewhere else. So let me know what you guys think about all this. What do you think of the 3 actors that we currently have for the Fantastic Four? What do you think of the other actors that have been revealed? And do you think that Ethan Hawke, Matt Damon, or Ryan Reynolds' character profiles confirm that this is in fact fake? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you will never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.